Addressees is back. Sam and oh God, what's up with you? Hip Hop Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip Hop Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive.
Interested in promoting your brand, business, or talent on Hip Hop News Uncensored? Hit me up right now at advertise@hiphopun.com. That's advertise@hiphopun.com. Hit me ASAP. Very affordable rates. Now to our regularly scheduled programming.
All of that stuff, the more flexible your body is, the less your injuries will come. So that's injury prevention. I say the most important part is just the diet, the rest, and just being not being injury prone. Those were my ingredients for success. And obviously I had a chip on my shoulder for not being drafted. So that was a little extra edge.
Indeed. A couple more questions for you, brother. We definitely appreciate your time. LeGarrette Blount on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. We were talking about black ownership and the lack of black ownership in the NFL. And I don't know if you've seen today that report came out that JayZ is rumored to be a future minority owner in my team, the Washington football team. Now, they're saying that nothing is imminent. Obviously, things take months to break down, but according to Burgundy Blog, they have a good authority that Hove is actively investing assets to position himself with the purchase of stake in Washington football team. What's your thoughts on that? And how important do you think it is for, I don't even want to say necessarily even JayZ, but black ownership in the NFL?
Man, that's a huge step. And everybody look up to JayZ. Everybody look up to JayZ. Right. Everybody looks up to just him being a mogul and an icon, in the black culture. So, that's a huge step. That might prompt, other powerful black people to make a step and take a step to try to get ownership into this league. But I'm gonna say that it'll be a lot more reluctant. People will be a lot more reluctant to let people that's not JayZ, become a part of a franchise, that's predominantly, not us. So I think that can go a long way. I think that's huge. That's my first time hearing that, so I'm happy to hear that. And I know that I want to say maybe LeBron and them, and I think they may have bought like a WNBA team or something, or so black ownership goes a long way, man. And once you get your foot in the door, man, you open the door so much more for so many other black people. You open the door so much more for so many other black people and for our young culture, for our young kids, for our youngsters to just see that, hey, it's possible for black people to own this same stuff that they own, or it's possible for us to, be, just as successful as they are, and it's, even though it's always going to be, the eyes are going to always be against us, none of it is impossible to do.
Indeed.
So my last question would be, how did you know when it was time to retire? A lot of guys give a lot of different, reasons why. What told you, it was time to hang it up now in the NFL?
So I got to the point to where I wasn't really in love with the game as I had been my entire career. I had got to the point where I wanted to spend time with my kids.
Right.
I wanted to be healthy and able to spend time with my kids. I didn't want to have to, have a wheelchair or, not able to chase them or not able to run because I've had so many, bad injuries. And, thank God the worst injury I've had was a chip bone in my hip. And, that next year I came back and rushed for 1,100 yards and 18 touchdowns. So
that shit sound like it hurt too, though. God damn.
So it went too bad. Wow. But I would say, I would say that, just having the chance to just spend time with my family and, being able to travel back and forth to Florida to see my parents whenever I want to, just things like that. I just felt like that was the most important thing to me at the time. That's always been number two to me, up under God. But, I just feel like, it was time for me to just step away and, spend time with the family and just enjoy being a dad for once, fully.
Sure. I got two more questions for you, brother. Definitely appreciate your time. One, NFL real quick. 17-game season. You love it or you hate it?
Hate it.
Hate it.
Because they're not giving you no extra paycheck. They just stretching whatever you're supposed to make. They just stretching that out for another week. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I make 17 million, or if I make $16 million, well, you add that extra 17th game.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't like you're gonna give me 17 million. You just gonna split my 16 million up until that gets stretched to 17 weeks.
We'll stretch it out.
You know what I'm saying? So if they were given, obviously like some kind of bonus, or there's some money involved in that 17th week, then that's different.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not doing nothing but adding hits and all kind of shit to your players. That's not protecting them. They already play what? How many preseason games is it now? It was 4 when I played. What is it, 2 or 3 now?
3 now, yeah.
3 preseason games, 17 regular season games, 3. That's 20 games already before you get the postseason. For the guys that do go to the postseason, that's 20 games.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
That's a lot. Then think about going to the wild card, then the divisional,
right?
Then the AFC Championship, then the Super Bowl. That's 4 more games. That's 24 games.
Yeah.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
24 games. That's really where you're really going and getting that shit. Like, it ain't, people love to say, oh man, you in the NFL, you making all this money, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
You're really going to get that shit. Like, it ain't easy. It ain't no walk in the park. Like, it's a grind, dog. Like, you ain't going out there and just, you know what I'm saying? All right, cool. I'm gonna just do this right here and do this right here and do this right here. You're gonna get your ass cut. So you got to go out there and grind unless you Tom Brady or shit, LeGarrette Blount or fucking anybody that's like established that if I go out there and make a mistake, I know I ain't gonna be going nowhere. I know I ain't finna get cut. I know I ain't gonna get fired. If you ain't one of the people that got that like that stability, then man, bro, I done talked to guys that done got cut 6-7 times in a season. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I was with this team last week, but then I got cut. Then 2 weeks later, this team called me. Then they cut me the next week. Then this team, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit a grind, bro. So I just feel like it's hard, dog. And I think a lot of people think that it's a walk in the park, and it's not.
Right. You
know what I'm saying? So I just want everybody. I just hope that everybody just really know that and pay attention that this shit ain't easy. To be there and to be on top, or to be even in this position to play in the NFL.
Right, definitely. I wanted to ask you too. Speaking on that, the transition from college football is like maybe 10 games, then jumping over to the NFL, 16 games. How did you make the first year? How did you make that transition? Was it very tough too to go from playing like 10 to 16?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't really that tough for me to go from 10 to 16 because I think at Oregon we always played about 13. You know what I'm saying? Like we always got that extra bowl game. You know what I'm saying? We played probably like 10 or 11 or 12 games in the season, and we always got that extra bowl game and stuff. And so when I made the transition, it wasn't that hard for me. And another thing for me was that the first 2 or 3 games of my rookie year, I didn't play because Cadillac Williams was the running back in front of me.
Oh yeah.
I think Cadillac might have got drafted like 2nd or 3rd overall, maybe 5th, maybe like 5th overall. Something he was top 5 pick, and he was running back in front of me, man. And a funny story, because Raheem Morris was the head coach of Funny Stories. I'm like, man, I talked to Raheem. I talked to him back and forth a lot, and I'm like, man, why claim me off for waivers and not play me? You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, it ain't tough for me to get the rock and run. And this is young LG now. It ain't tough for me to get the rock and run. Like, shit, I don't got to know the pass plays. I ain't got to know the dust thing. Like, niggas know when I get in the game, I'm finna tote the pill. Like, they know I ain't finna be enough blocking and catching passes. Like, it ain't no secret. You know what I'm saying? And they were just like, hey, man, you got to learn the playbook. You got to learn the playbook. You got to learn the playbook. And then finally I got I got dressed out and stuff. And then I was in his ear and walking up and down the sideline. We playing against the Steelers. this Troy Polamalu,
Yeah.
that's them. I think they won the Super Bowl that year.
James Harrison, the Bulls.
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah.
That's them. And we played against them, and we got out there, and I want to say I think we were probably losing by like 20 or something like that. It was like, I'm like, man, come on, man, like we finna. I'm like, man, we getting our ass beat. Like, put me in the game, dog. Cadillac and running good. I'm talking that shit. And he put me in the game, and you know, I broke a couple runs, and I scored me a touchdown. And ever since then, he kind of didn't look back. He was like, "Oh, my fault. Like you did your thing." And then just kind of slowly, I gradually picked up, you know, carries, and then eventually started. I rushed for 1,000 yards my rookie year. So it was like I said, it wasn't that tough for me because I didn't play the first 2 or 3 games. So it was basically like a college season for me because I played the last 13.
All right. I mean, it's gonna be my last question, I promise, because we could be so many. Have you in here for hours.
Yeah.
But black media. I'm not black media. I'm sorry. Sports media. Is it good or bad for young black athletes, or is it fair or foul to young black athletes? In your opinion?
To get into that or to.
No. Okay. So your ESPNs, your NFL networks, your Fox networks, the people on there, and the personalities on there. Obviously, they get paid a lot of money and talk a lot of shit on sports media. We all love it. We all dive into it. But as men looking at it now, how fair are they to black athletes coming into these organizations, getting millions of dollars, and like you said, really not even just having this for the first time? Are they fair or foul to black athletes?
Nah, I don't think it's fair. I think it's foul because you know, you got some guys on there, you know, and I'm not gonna say names, but you got some guys in there some guys in sports media that are black too, that hate on the black kids too, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad to see. It's sad to see. So it's foul, man, because like I said, you don't get a fair shot. You know, and every mistake that you made is gonna be blown up into massive stories, this, that, and the other. Like, it just it's not fair. Like I said, man, I've told somebody, you know, I've told people, you know, this before. Like you got coaches that get a lot more leniency than these to make mistakes than these young black athletes. You know what I'm saying? If these young kids make a mistake, man, I've seen guys get cut, first round draft picks get cut because, you know, of mistakes, and you got coaches that are, you know, fucking snorting lines of cocaine and shit, on FaceTime with strippers and shit, and all they do is get a little suspension and they keep their job. You know what I'm saying? Like that's mind blowing to me. That's mind blowing to me. Like you caught red handed doing this stuff, and you get a pass, but you know, I get caught. Not saying this is right, but I get caught drunk driving to the crib and I'm a block away, and now I'm this villain.
Even like a Larry Tunsil. Remember when he got caught with the bomb?
Yeah, he got caught with the bomb, right? Bro, he was supposed to be. I mean, he got drafted in the first round, but he was supposed to get drafted way higher.
Best tackle in the league right now.
You know, he's the best tackle in the league.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the people that, and granted, all of them aren't the same. So some of them will take a chance on you. Some of them still have faith in you. So all of them aren't the same, but at the same time, man, it's so unfair because, like I said earlier, you got Mac Jones with multiple DUIs and this, that, and the other, and the Patriots still drafted him top 15?
Yeah. 15, I think. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got Justin Fields, and all they put up on his little profile before he get drafted is character concerns, this, that, and the other. And you know, I'm like, man, come on, man. You got to understand, bro. These are 19, 20, 21-year-old kids. Right. A lot of them leaving home for the first time. They've never experienced college or anything like it. Right. And you know, you might get carried away a little bit.
Yeah, it's normal.
It is what it is. So, you know, I don't think it's fair. You know, I think it's obvious how unfair it is. You know, they don't try to sugarcoat it or hide it. They put it out there for everybody to see. So it's definitely more foul than fair.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely, man. LeGarrette Blount, 3-time Super Bowl champion on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. We definitely appreciate it, man. It's been an honor the whole
I
time.
appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate y'all having me, man. Anytime, man. Y'all let me know if y'all need me, bro.